If you're interested in working for a family-friendly company that has a great history, a fantastic present, and even brighter future, then this is the episode of Higher Road for you. Hi, my name is Brandon Evans. I'm the Director of Employers Training Resource, the county's Chief Workforce Development Officer, but you can just call me the Jobs Guy. And we are right here at Holloway Road. We're gonna visit the Holloway company and learn all about who they are, what they do, and most importantly, if they can hire you. So we're out here at Holloway, right off of Holloway Road, and I have the pleasure of being able to talk to Brian Maxted, who is the CEO of this fantastic operation. Brian, nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. Thank you for coming out today.
So what do we got going on? What's behind us? And can you give us a preview of some of the things that we're going to see today?
Sure. So yeah, what is Holloway as a company? So Holloway's been around since 1932. The company started as a gypsum mine. And we still mine gypsum here. And it really started with Harvey Holloway, who was a night watchman for the oil companies here in Lost Hills, and he saw this white glittery substance on the ground, and was curious. So he took a sample, took it to a lab, found out it was gypsum, and then researched what gypsum was used for, and found it was good for agriculture. And so he started by giving it to some of the farmers from 46. Said, "Put this on your crops; it's going to work well," and it did. And so he started leasing some land from the oil companies and bought it piece by piece. And so now the site's about a 3,000 acre site, all running along Holloway Road here. And we've been mining gypsum since 1932, but we've really expanded beyond just gypsum over the years. In our ag division, we've grown to other soil amendments and inputs and services that are focused on soil health. And we have about hundreds of acres of spent mine pits. And so over the time, the company decided, well, what's the best use of these big holes in the ground?
Right.
And the geology is such here that we could get them permitted to be a landfill. And so we started to make some of our spent mine pits a landfill, which is a great reuse of an open pit.
100%.
Because waste has to go somewhere, and we already have a pit for it to go in.
How far does that come from?
Yeah, it's a great question. So obviously a lot here in Kern, but it comes from beyond Kern as well. It's about a 200-mile radius that makes us relevant in that space. And we get paid to dig a hole and paid to fill it back up, and that's not a bad business model. But we're not just trying to fill up our holes. When it comes to our waste, we're really thinking about how can we reuse the different materials that are coming in. And so we recently got permitted a compost facility. So a lot of the organic material that comes in, we're now composting, which obviously has beneficial reuses for spreading on ground. And we are just about finished with building a recycling facility we're about to turn on, which we're really excited about, and that's going to be recycling plastics and metals from auto shredder waste. So we'll get to that in a little bit, but that's really exciting. So it's not just a landfill and environmental services. We're looking to how to reuse anything that's coming in, organics in the compost facility, plastics and metals through our recycling facility, and some things just need to go in the ground. And so we happen to have this great geology and these open pits to be able to have a good home for waste that needs to go somewhere. So.
Yeah, that's sweet. It looks like today on our tour, we're going to be able to learn a lot about things from the past, as well as what we're looking forward to in the future.
That's correct. Yeah, absolutely. We have 4 main businesses we're in, which is the mining business, the ag business, the environmental business, and then everything moves by a truck. And so we have a truck fleet that we help bring those materials back and forth.
Yeah, and totally selfishly, at some point we need to talk about gypsum in my front backyard.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's going to be good for your backyard. We'll talk about that, though. We'll get there.
All right. Nice meeting you, Brian.
Good meeting you. Yeah, pleasure. Should we go in and check out what we're doing inside here?
I think that's a great idea.
Okay, let's do it. So here we are in our shop, and we service all sorts of equipment here. Okay. So right here we have Martine working on one of our spreading tractors in our spreader boxes. So when our soil amendments, our gypsum and compost and sulfur and other amendments go to the field, they need to be applied somehow.
Right.
And so these are some of our equipment that we use to make sure that the material is spread accordingly. And then we work on all sizes of equipment here. So this is one of our haul trucks right here that's being worked on in the shop too. And
I gotta say, it's a little intimidating up close.
Let's go look at the wheels on this thing. These are fun. I think that these wheels are almost as tall as I am. They're probably about 5 and some foot wheels, but yeah, these are obviously big pieces of equipment. Yeah, I think we're getting over them. These are the haul trucks, and it has a bed with it as well that's used to either haul the K-Tex or to move the material from one site to the next as well. And the bucket that goes in the back of this, when it's not the K-Tex, and we'll see out there, which we use to pull the material up, is about a 40 ton, 38 ton bucket. So it holds about 38, 40 tons in the back of when the bed's on it. And then the K-Tex have about 30 tons per hopper. So we'll look at that when we go out to the mine site.
Fantastic.
But yeah, this is where everything gets worked on, and a lot of mechanics work for us. A lot of different types of equipment we have. We have the ag equipment. We have large mining equipment. We have the recycling equipment. So there's lots of different stuff that we work on in the shop. Some of it's fabricated from scratch. Some of it's working on existing equipment. A lot of opportunities for that.
So Brian, now we're out here where some of the magic happens. What do we got going on behind us?
Yeah, so this is our mining operation out here. This is where the product gets milled. So if you look over to your right here, this is our open mine pit where we have the gypsum deposit. And so we have these large scrapers and tractors and K-Tex picking up the material, and they drive it around to this hopper right there. You can see one in the background dumping their load through a bottom hopper. Then it goes through a milling process to make the size of the material consistent. So we're offering a 1/4 inch minus product to our growers, and it gets stacked here in this big radial stacker. So these are pretty large stacks of inventory right here. This is old gypsum that we've milled that came from our mine, and we're probably looking at about 50,000, 60,000 tons of gypsum in that one pile alone, and it will continue to grow as we continue to mine. We just started mining about a month ago or so.
Okay.
So we mine when it's not rainy, and stock up for the fall. Although we sell gypsum throughout the entire year, it's really our main mining season. It's about May through October, and the sales season happens throughout the year depending on what the crop is. And all of our gypsum here is sold to agriculture. There's some that's sold to industrial uses like cement, but most of it's sold to agriculture. We have a really unique proposition here because this mine is located pretty much in the center of the growing area. And so where a lot of other companies' gypsums come from far away, Nevada or way down south near Blythe or other places, our gypsum is locally sourced,
right,
and happens to be right next to where the use is, which is the pistachio farms. We got Wonderful's main pistachio processing plant just about 7 miles to the west of us, and a lot of their orchards around here as well. A lot of almond orchards around here. But gypsum is applied to almost all crops, all soils that need it. So it all goes to the soil amendment.
And when it comes to, I know you said that you're selling all year round, but do you flex up staff during certain times of year like now?
Yeah, no, it's our staff's pretty much year round.
Okay.
And so there's different things we do throughout the season. So this is our main mining season. And so it's heavy mining activity. It's most efficient to mine right now, so we're mining now. Once we're complete with our mining our estimated inventory for the year, and then all this equipment you see here, we strip down and do the winter maintenance. And so we're overhauling this equipment every year, making sure it's going to be in prime condition for prime time the next season. And so it's a cycle of mining, and then really a heavy sales season happens in the fall. So we have more people focused on loading and getting the material to customers in the fall. And then the winter is all about preventative maintenance, making sure the machines are ready to go the next mining season. And so for our mining section of our company, it's all year operation.
Okay.
It's full-time employees all year. There's just different stuff that they focus on throughout the year.
Excellent, excellent. And in terms of positions, what do you call these guys? Is there anything in terms of their background that you're looking for?
So we need a lot of technical skills are always welcome here. So anyone who has any sort of mechanical ability, mechanics, we are always needed.
Okay.
But operators, really heavy equipment operators, are the main people that will be working on the mine site, whether that's working a rolling stock, a loader, or a scraper, or a tractor. Those are positions that we certainly seek. A lot of operators focused on maintaining the equipment.
Right.
And so these are pretty large mill equipment here.
Yeah,
and
you
so
can say that.
we any background with working with heavy equipment in that way, whether it be processing equipment or other mine sites, or just some background in working with machines is helpful. And so we have different levels of from straight out of trade school or,
Right.
18 years old and
Okay.
and wanting to work, and we'll start to train up for the positions, to experienced operators, obviously, and we're always looking for those.
So all this talk about gypsum, what is gypsum?
Yeah, good question. So from a chemical standpoint, it's calcium sulfate dihydrate. And so what does that mean? What is it used for? It's a crystal, it's a mineral, and it's used for a lot of uses. Ours almost all goes to the agricultural sector as a soil amendment. And so gypsum has three main benefits for ag. It fluctuates clay soils, and so any compacted soils, it naturally helps open up those pores to help the water penetrate to the roots and wash away impurities past the root zone.
Got it.
Really important for the type of clay soils that we have all throughout the valley here. Second thing it does is as it opens up the soil, it grabs any salts or any chlorides, sodium, bad actors that are not good for plants, and it attaches to those salts and leaches it past the root zone. Again, really important. So if you have salty water, you have high chlorides in your water, you have high sodiums in your water, you're going to need gypsum to wash that past the root zone. Because as you get closer to the ocean, unless the plant's meant to grow in salty water, it pretty much will kill your plant if you have too much salt on it.
Got it.
So it's really important to keep that.
And what does it look like?
Yeah, good question. So this is a crystal of gypsum here. So it's the second least dense mineral on the ohm scale, and so it's a crystallized version. But if you look closely, you can see all the sort of shiny, shimmering pieces of that.
Yeah.
And this is probably about, just looking at this, maybe 80, 85, 90% gypsum in this one. And these veins are mixed in with some other material that's naturally found in this site that's chock full of micronutrients. And so we end up selling a homogeneous product to the ag sector of a 55% plus gypsum, combined with a bunch of micronutrients that are also really good for the soil. We're here with Narita, and we're here in our scale house.
Scale house.
And I'll let Narita speak about what happens here.
Okay, so the truck drivers come in, get gyp,
Oh, you got one right
drop
now.
off
You can go ahead and
bio.
show what's going on.
Sure. So they usually come in, give me their paperwork. I'll put them in the yard, and I will direct them where they're gonna go and leave their load.
Narita, how many trucks do we have coming in and out a day? On average? About
Like
100?
125, 150.
And how much do these trucks weigh?
They have, when it comes to gyp, they have to leave between 77,000 and 80. That's how much they take from gyp from here out.
So on the over-the-road vehicles, it's about 80,000 tons, including the truck's weight. And so we have the dual scale centered out there to make sure we keep flow going. When you have 125 plus
you're good.
trucks coming per day, you don't want a big backup.
No.
So we've got two different lanes operating there to make sure we get the rushes through when they come. And they leave with no more than 80,000 tons. We try to get it as close as possible because obviously it's efficient to be able to.
You want to max out every load, right?
Correct. Yeah. So quality control is really important for us here at Holloway. And so I'm going to introduce you to Allie here, and she's going to take you through how we make sure we test all of our gypsum. We spot check it to make sure that what we say we're giving our customers, we back up and can represent. So,
Perfect.
Allie, why don't you go show us how this works?
Hi, Allie. So we are here in your lab.
Yes.
Can you give us a sense of what you do in here?
Sure. So here at the lab, I go ahead and do quality control. So I make sure I test the gyp. I make sure that the percentage of gyp is to our standard.
Right.
So here I have. So essentially, I dilute the gyp. I use a couple different chemicals: hydrochloric acid, barium chloride. This is the last step before I throw them in the oven, heat them up. So right now they're in liquid form. If you want to take a look at the end, here, perfect example. You see the white stuff in there at the bottom?
Yes.
That's the gyp.
Oh.
So we'll filter it down, put them in cubicles, throw them in the oven, and after they're done in the oven, you get nice little gyp. I go ahead and I have my little formulas, weigh them, and then I get the percentage of the gyp.
So we're here with Matt, our mine superintendent, and I'm going to hand you over to Matt here to talk a little bit about what it means to work here at Holloway.
Good evening, gentlemen. My name is Matt Wessner. I'm the mine superintendent here at Holloway. What it means to work at Holloway is a career. It's family oriented. It's a place where you could come, you could raise a family. We treat everybody like family. We love having people, and we want to build people up to make them better for themselves, and so they could have a long career here.
And Matt, how long have you been here with us?
I've been here 4 years.
4 years.
Mhm.
And how have you seen how we've grown and how the team's really been over these last 4 years?
When I first came in, it was just the mine and environmental, and now things are expanding to metal recycling. We've been doing a lot of work with the pits. We've been getting new equipment, new loaders, revamping how we do things out here and to make it more productive, saving money on fuel costs with new pieces of equipment, better quality control.
Yeah, and obviously it's always safety first. That's our number one behavior that we care about here at Holloway. But we also like to have fun as well. So can you talk a little bit about how the group works and this is a mining environment. So
Exactly.
we're outside.
But it's a bunch of men out here. They're doing their thing. Everything. Sometimes it can get a little testy, but we try to keep it light, because if you're always on somebody and you're just powering down on them, it doesn't make for a good work environment. And we try to lighten things up to where people feel at home and they want to be here and have a career with us.
And we have a lot of people that have been here for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 plus years.
Yeah, Michael Parker's been here 25 years plus, and I plan on retiring out of here.
Well, we hope you do. You're probably not going anywhere.
So it's been a good experience. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Where are we now? What's going on?
So we're really in some of the heart of our environmental services part of our company. And so I mentioned over the years, we made these big 50-foot pits deep, mining the gypsum, and through some time figured out, well, what's a good use for it, and figured we could repurpose some of those sites to be a landfill. And so we're filling up some of those pits with waste, but we've expanded beyond just filling up the holes. We're always trying to think, how can we reuse the various waste forms that we bring in?
Right.
And so here we're actually at our compost facility. So we opened this up a little under a year ago now, about 6 months ago, and are taking organic materials and reprocessing it into compost. And so these are our windrows of organic material here in compost, and those are incoming materials right there. So the various organic waste mixed with wood waste and going into these windrows with temperature and water and aeration. It ends up activating the temperature to where it kills a lot of the pathogens.
Okay.
And then that also is breaking down the materials in that process. And that's composting.
Right,
that.
right,
And then
right.
we'll have a finished product in about 90 to 120 days that will go out to be spread on fields or spread on lawn or ornamental, depending on where the compost comes from. Different compost goes different places. And beyond just our organics, we have in the distance, you can see kind of beyond it, our recycling facility. We'll go there next.
Mhm.
And so again, we talked about the waste that comes in. Okay, how can we reuse it?
Right.
And so our organics go here to our compost facility. And over there, we take auto shredder waste, which is the parts of the cars that after it goes to these large shredders,
Right.
the magnets pull off everything that's ferrous, which is iron, really. But what's not liberated in that process is a lot of the non-ferrous materials and plastics. We've been taking that for about 30 years and putting it in the same place here. So we have a big deposit of this, actually what's an ore-rich material now, full of copper and aluminum and stainless steel and other metals, as well as a lot of plastics. And we're just about finished building our recycling plant to reprocess and get those out. So we'll go over there next and talk about that.
So far, we've talked about Holloway's past, Holloway's present, and behind us, I think we're looking at Holloway's future.
Yeah, that's correct. So we're here at our recycling project, which certainly is a big part of Holloway's future. And this is a project that started about 4 or 5 years ago in the process of developing the plan, going through the permitting, and now over about 2 years of construction. And we're about a few weeks from turning the plan on, maybe a week or two. And it's a really exciting time for us to be in this stage of the process. So yeah, this recycling plant is meant to process a lot of the auto shredder waste that we are taking in the landfill. And so that is, again, part of end-of-life vehicles that go through large shredders. And those shredders smash the cars up and pull off everything that's magnetic. But everything that's not magnetic is a bunch of plastics, a bunch of other metals, non-ferrous metals, and other materials. And we've just putting it in our landfill for over 3 decades, and we still take more every day. Well, it turns out that that's full of recoverable materials that are valuable for a lot of our next generation technologies. So copper, there's over a mile copper wire in every vehicle. Aluminum, a lot of your side panels of the cars are aluminum or now becoming more and more plastic. Stainless steel, and then other sort of precious materials are in there as well, and metals. And here we're taking that material that looks like mulch, and we can take a look at it. That's actually some piles of it, sample piles over there. We saw some at the landfill. It just looks like mulch and trash, and we're separating it down to its constituency. And so we can walk through here, different parts of this process. It's a wet system. We put the material in these giant hoppers back here, and it feeds about 200 tons of material an hour when the plant's on. So it can take a lot of material. This is basically urban mining.
Right.
You know, this is mining scale equipment. We saw our mine that mined gypsum back when we were at our gypsum site. Well, now we're mining trash, right? But that trash is full of some really valuable recoverable materials. It's just how do you separate it?
Right.
And our partner in this project has perfected the technology to separate it. And so we're doing that here through a combination of processes. You know, there's a bunch of different physics that are going on in doing this. And this project is starting up this month from an operational standpoint. And so we've been constructing it for 2 years. But this is going to take a lot more people for us to be able to operate this plant. So in Holloway, generally, we're about 80 employees overall. And we're going to be growing from 80 to 120 employees in the next, call it 2 months.
Excellent.
So hiring about 40 new employees for this plant. And those jobs are everything from equipment operators to plant operators to mechanics to electricians. Just takes a lot of different trades and a lot of different types of jobs to be able to work this plant.
Fantastic. So this is a big operation. We're on one end.
Correct.
Is there anything to show us over at the other end?
Yeah, so it's a lot of different processes, and just to give a very high overview of what it does is the material goes in those hoppers there and then goes through a conveyor system, and we're first separating by size. And so anything 5 inches and larger gets kicked one way, and everything 5 inches and smaller gets kicked another way. And then it goes through another process that's floating lights and sinking heavies. And then it's going through things to smash up whatever comes out of that, and then we reprocess again. And a lot of the processes are a combination of particle size separation and density separation. And there's other magic along the way. There's magnets taking off various things. There's eddy currents. There's electrostatic activities in the plastic. There's different processes, each solving for a different part of the chain. And what comes out is a bucket of copper, a bucket of aluminum, a bucket of iron, a bucket of stainless steel, plastics. And then we're even taking the plastics down to their polymers as well. And that's really exciting. And it's going to be sort of a first of class, very large, one of the largest recycling plants of its kind here in Kern County.
Yeah. Sounds very earth friendly.
Oh, we're so happy to, again, we think of ourselves as a full, cyclical company.
Yeah.
And so on the ag side, we're taking this material out of the earth to help the growing population, and then we're taking back organic waste to process it and get to compost to then go back to ag as well. And then on the recycling side, on the environmental side, we're taking stuff that's going to our landfill, whether it be organics or a compost facility, or things we can put through our recycling facility and trying to reuse those as well. And so we think of ourselves as a sort of closed loop, circular economy company here in Kern County.
So this has been a fantastic tour. We were just on the other side of this large operation. Now we're on this side. Anything else you want to add to what we're looking at behind us?
Well, looking forward to you all coming back here once this thing turns on in a week or two, because this is where the actual materials will come out separated. So where it comes out in these giant super sacks of these materials I was talking about, whether it be aluminum or copper or plastic, and that's a sight to see. So I'll be excited when you get out here in a few weeks and we can take some shots of that. And it's really amazing to see the trash go in, the treasure come out.
Perfect. I love that. So You said you're expecting to go from about 80 current employees to about 120. You had
That's
talked
right.
a little bit about some of the positions. Can you just let us know, just a quick recap, what are the kind of positions you think you're going to be looking for currently and into the future? And then also, how does somebody that's interested in working for Holloway, how do they get in contact?
Absolutely. So again, we're looking for heavy equipment operators, mechanics, plant operators, electricians, just a wide variety of trades.
Yeah.
You can come from the oil fields, you can come from ag. This can be your first time applying for a job, you know, and there's level 1 positions that we're going to have. It's really that aptitude to want to work. It's an exciting environment. You know, it's really state-of-the-art technology that's happening here, and it's something different than a lot else that's going on here in Kern County. And if people want to apply, our website's pretty easy. It's www.hmholloway.com. So that's www.hmholloway.com. And we have a jobs link in there and a careers link, and it has all the jobs we have for this. So that's definitely reach out there or call the main office and ask for Stevie Flood, who's our head of HR, and she'll be able to direct you in the right place to apply as well.
Fantastic. And so, guys, we've learned so much about Holloway's past, present, and obviously their future. We've learned a lot about who they are and what they do, but most importantly, how they can hire you. Till the next time, we're out.